So, what do you do when you finally gotten your body in shape? You've been following the plan, you took the challenge, and you're on day 17, and now you look the part. So, this is where we've landed this aircraft. We've gotten you to a place where you are looking the part and you have confidence. So, now what do you do to duplicate yourself? Because that's what you do when you're at that phase. See, we didn't take a physical challenge just to challenge ourselves physically. We showed you the pathway of what we do when we're trying to build, not only build a brand, but basically build an entire series around who you are and what you're doing here on the planet. So, what we did is today is day 17 on our physical challenge. And so, what did I do? We decided to pull you in to showing you how we build an audience of 300,000 people just on Instagram. And why is it important to not only get yourself in physical shape? We talked about things like compensatory control and control eccentric movement training, and making sure that you guys understand how important it is to know all facets of training your body. Yesterday was isometric training, isometric hold training. There's a difference between the two. And what I think we found out when really paying closer attention is that there should be no excuse why you miss anything when it comes down to your own physical well being, because your physical well being will impact you mindset and what you feel internally. And that is your soul. And a lot of people just don't buy into that it takes all three components to actually reach the highest level. But you will never find anyone at the top that has not figured out that they need to be humble to remain at the top, because life can take you on a detour that can never ever shake you. And so, what we're going to get into is all of the components, the 5 things that you'll need to know about duplicating yourself, so that not only are you speaking what you need to speak, it will land on many other people who will play roles in your life. So, if you've always wanted to know what it's like to duplicate yourself or see what some of these people are doing, like myself, who have a great audience of people that listen, then you'll understand this. And then I'm going to get directly into it. You see, this series is only about those individuals who actually are here on an assignment. And there are two types of people in the world: the people who are here doing, and the people who watch, and they have a role in that. And so there are those who come to carve out the road, and then there are those who come to ride on the road. And that's what we want to give you the tools to be able to do. So when you think of people who are like Anthony Robbins, who they're here on a mission, what God does is put people around them. And those people aren't playing a smaller role. Their role is just important as anything that he's doing. It just takes the person who will make that road relevant by the actions they take and the people that they can surround themselves with. So if that is you, then you're going to be a much better leader. If you listen to this series and watched it from day one to now, you've already improved and you've been motivated. Now, what we're going to do is show you how to duplicate yourself like the top 1% have done to manifest things that they've always dreamed about. Now, number one of the things that you want to be front and center on is when you're duplicating yourself, you have to think about what do you need to do. All right. So what you have to do is systemize what you do. Therefore, you'll see someone like myself who writes books, who creates video content and programming. So that's one phase, but we're not just doing that. What we're focusing on doing is showing you the actual map that helps you get to a place that you would have never gotten to without this map. So I'm going to actually give you an example of some of these things that I'm talking about so that you can actually do it yourself and follow this road so you can experience what it's like to actually kill this thing, crush it, and don't play the game because it's too much out here available. So the first thing that you want to think about is repurposing your content is one of the things that having the systemized process will help you with, right? Now, number one thing, once you get out here and you got a message, just say, for instance, you are, you know, selling a service that cures diabetes, but no one knows that you're great at that. So how do we get more people to know it? And you only want to think about doubling who knows you now. So if 5 people know about you, how do you get 10? Well, you can tell them, everybody that knows you, all 5 people that you service, you can tell them to actually tell one person and then you've doubled it. Or you can clone yourself, right? Repurposing yourself and getting yourself out there visibly. So the phase that you'll think about, and this is what I want you to do. This is a brilliant way to approach it. You get the framework to do it, because here are things that everything starts out on an index card and then it goes to probably loose leaf or a notebook. And once it makes it there, it turns into a plan of things. And then when it's this plan, it gets typed up. And sometimes it goes into ebook or PDF and then onto as a program for those who are trying to reach the next level so that they can get there. So once you get going with the system, let your method live beyond you, because where we go wrong, especially in the training field, is we think everything belongs to us. But I've been guilty of giving people everything that I know knowledge wise so that they can experience the same experience. They can reach the 6 and 7 and 8 figure life, because we're not here for ourselves. We're here on an assignment. Therefore, the way I live my life does not belong to me. I was signed up for something much greater when I was born. It was already written. So therefore, what I learn, you learn. There's that. So the next thing that we got to think about is, and I'm going to show you, today is about lights, cameras, action. And the next thing is you got to build a digital team. So my digital team, I'm going to show you an example of the digital team, right? So let me read something to you. You want to film content that captures your knowledge, values, and vibe. Think courses, video libraries, and branded micro lessons. That's exactly what I was just sharing with you, right? Now, when you start doing that, you have the people who are watching have a much greater thing to attach to. You make it easy for them to get to you. You are in shape. You look good. You fit the build. You have courage. You have confidence. You have a swag. You have an essence that comes off of you. And it's not selfish, it's selfless. That's what makes it attractive. That's what makes people want to trust in you. That's what separates you from the rest of the pack. Because most people, once they get an opportunity to start having a few wins, they allow it to go to their heads. And what we as top 1%ers want to do is to show the selflessness in this, the giving back of this, the not making it about me guy, but making it about you. Therefore, that's why you see such a large gap between the creators, the influencers that are up here doing millions of people, millions of eyeballs every single week, every single month. And I did over a quarter of a billion eyeballs just on Meta in a year. So that was a real good feather in my cap. But guess what? the only thing it made me want to do, and maybe you'll be, conscious of using this when you reach that point, if you're not already there, is that it made me want to dwindle it down to a smaller number in a more profound and refined message. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm not just going out here to reach views. There are videos that I have that have 300 views on it. And there are videos that I have that have 13 million views on it. Those aren't the messages that I'm trying to send. What I'm trying to be clear on is that when you're here on an assignment, which maybe you are too, but I know we know each other the moment we are in front of each other. There's just a different era or aura that comes off of a person here on an assignment. When you are here on an assignment, your focus is to get it, and so you can give it, not so you can keep it. So we make sure we have package material for every product that I've ever put in my store, especially the stuff that's there now. It has a refined tune to it. It will take you way past where you expect it to go, whether it was physical training programs or if it was a program to help you mentor you up in developing people and athletes and grow your own personal business. So with that being said, the third thing that you'll have to take down, and hopefully you're taking down notes. I got a pencil right here, Michigan State. To empower a team with your voice. And let me explain what that looks like. Here's one.
You, new job, new hobbies, new you. The possibilities are endless when you dare to make that move. So, are you ready to turn the page and start your next chapter somewhere new?
Simple, but
master your work strategy in 5 steps. First, identify your peak productivity hours and schedule deep work during this time.
see, what you're doing is amplifying your voice and magnifying your name. So therefore, when I get to number 5, I'm going to explain to you what this is all about. It's going to really it's going to give you clarity as to what you may have been missing and how that's affected you and what you can do now to really turn that up. I don't know why I was misled to think that if I grew a big audience that my mission would align. That's not the case. I grew a big audience, so anybody who's wanting a big audience, unless you get paid for viewership, which we do get paid for viewership, but that's not my mission. My mission is to definitely get out the message that I want. And when you're talking about the thing that's really relevant to talk about, it's just like going to church. You know, the pastor has to give you music at the beginning to keep you wanting to be there, right? I don't want to do that. What I feel like is relevant is to talk with the dog whistle, and that's talking directly to the person who needs exactly what we do, right? And I call myself an architect, and the architect creates buildings, right? They craft them like artwork. What I architect is visions, not just any visions, skyscrapers, big ones. Whatever you come to me with saying you want, I'm going to say what's bigger than that, because we've gotten conditioned to think small. And so, therefore, is why I created the podcast, Think Bigger. My initiative is to think bigger. If you want to be a trainer, why not own a gym? And if you own a gym, why not own a franchise? And if you have a franchise, why not just become a developer? And see, once you start opening up your mind, you start to see what you've been putting back on the table. But I always encourage the people who watch is to listen to your 2 a.m. voice, because that's the one that's telling the truth. It has not been diminished, and it's in your dream state. And if you're in your dream state, everything is possible. So just remember that whenever you start losing confidence in yourself. And this is one of the main reasons we did a physical challenge. The physical challenge isn't about physically challenging yourself. It's about getting up every day and taking care of your temple and watching what happens to your temple. When you start to build confidence, you start to gain muscle, you start to look away, you start to feel away, you start to talk away, and you start to not believe in anything negative. You're in control. You know why? Because you are on an assignment. There's that. Now, as we empower a team with your voice, that's what delegation is. You empower a team. So that's videos of yourself out here talking to people. Footage on video, man. PDFs, stories, duplicating yourself on every orifice that you can, because now you're magnifying and amplifying your voice and magnifying your name. And if your name is purpose, then that's going to attract more to you. And what we're trying to speak to, without feeling like we're talking about more vain kind of things, is frequency. And if you got the right frequency, you're attracting the right frequency. What you're going to find is that frequency matters. So when we having higher talks like this, most of the time, I'm doing it now in the area what we call the winner's circle. The winner's circle isn't for a person who just wants to learn how to throw a jab or learn how to do sit-ups. The winner's circle is a person that understands and rectifies and identifies with all three components: mindset, physical, and soul. Depth, frequency, mindset, mentality. Everything is in your ecosystem. You can't elude any of those and get all of what you want. They all play a role in duplicating yourself with all of those components. How would you like to hire someone to work with you or for you, and they are a shallow version of you? That's not cool. You want someone with depth. So this is what this is all about: how to create depth. Now, once you train the people to speak in your voice, you post and you make decisions in alignment with your philosophy and standards. And therefore, why you see a lot of coaches that are on calls with me, you see a lot of those guys, they're winning in life. They are moving the needle. They are attracting higher, higher frequency people, because you are becoming a higher frequency person. When you're around a high performer, your performance increases by nature 20%, just because you're in proximity with one. So therefore, I always want to put out something that's going to help you, that I know you can use and I know is now. The fourth out of 5 things that you want to have in place is you'll need to want to use the AI for your clone assistance. So as you've seen, my AI clones, I have a multitude of
Feel
them.
stuck in a rut? Well, what if I told you the key to unlocking your potential might be as simple as packing your bags? That's right. We're talking about the power of relocating.
Boom. And here's another.
These 3 skills when you fight against a rival. Here's Gervonta Davis, who went skill for skill with Lamont Roach.
AI, AI, AI. Those are my words. That's not my voice. Those are overlays. Those are edits, but it's totally AI. So you got 2 different versions to throw at people of what is it that it requires to amplify yourself and multiply and duplicate yourself. Well, this is, you have all the tools. That's why there's, we got a program, and it's called Top Trainer, Top 1% Trainer, right? And of course, it's for people who are in the coaching field, the training business. And in order to learn how to improve yourself, you can't compete if it's just you. It's too many people and they're all good, and you can see them on your phone every single day, throughout the day, all day, every day. So you have to learn how to disrupt the algorithm with your version of what you do best. That's where we're going. So now, lights, cameras, action. So let me read this to you. Leverage tools like ChatGPT, Descript, and synthesis to create content, respond to messages, and even replicate your delivery. And this is all about putting everything on just a Ferris wheel, and it's just cranking out. You're just cranking out. And when you're cranking out stuff, you're more than likely to have a lot more success when you have whatever you're saying being spoken through the internet. And that's important. Now, the next thing, number 5. So you thought we were just going to do this just for the sake of physical training, day 17. But this has been much more than working out physically. This is about elevating and multiplying yourself. Now, if it was boxing on the screen, I was throwing a jab, head movement, and all that, you find people, that's what they're looking for, right? But this is about what happens when you get past that point in your life. See, I'm 55, and now the people who are running the world are in my age category. This was the thing that older people feared when we were kids. Oh, one day you guys will be running the world. Well, you know what? I'm on the good side, focusing on the things that help us do the thing right. Most likely is helping you upon your mission. So, number 5, you have to build a show, not just a brand. And this is what we call building a show. When you start to be in front of
Yeah, boom, the sound consumes. Get the ill style and the
already
shit go
accomplished.
boom. Bang, like boomerang slang when we come back. Every man, every woman hype on the track. Boom, the sound consumes. Get the ill style and the shit go boom. Ill shit, fiction, faction, tactics. Everybody know it's every man come back quick.
See, what you're understanding is you see me here, but you don't see me when I'm in a room full of politicians or doing conversations with senators and talking to people and breaking down the doors for the people who we are trying to offer up what we call the olive branch. See, what you'll do when you start turning the cameras on is giving people a peep inside of your actual life. And what does that look like when you're focusing? I've been taking you guys on a journey. One thing I can say about today's thought leaders like myself and people who are out here, we're more willing to be vulnerable and transparent because it's helping us be more effective with our delivery. And if that is the only price tag that I have to pay, is to be more open to pulling back the curtain and saying, here, check us out. This is what we're doing. How could this help your life? Is this what you do? Then, hey, let's couple up and let's go ahead and do something cool. Let's collaborate. So you see me on the screen with other people. Just
Dustin
it's
Poirier's
pay-per-view
coach.
sparring. My man Daya Davis. And you see me on the scheme and on the scene doing
Want as
series
many greens and fruit.
as people who are influential in the world, and it's a constant. And what we're doing is making things more effective and making the world a much more effective place to get to where you want it to get to. Because once you start achieving the goals and getting to where you want to and seeing the step ladder, then the only thing that's left for you to do is to rinse and repeat that and give it to the people who actually haven't gotten there yet. And you throw down the olive branch to them, and that's when you start raining into the blessings beyond. We call that abundance. It's a powerful method of getting to the thing. And so what we're going to do tomorrow as we talk about this is a series, how to multiply yourself and become your own hit series. This is Star Power Cinema. That's exactly what it says. Star Power Cinema, where we're going to go into how to turn your life into a what we call a superior magnet that you can attract what you want, and you put out what's necessary, and building a series utilizing what's directly in your hand at disposal is going to be so powerful, because we got big events coming up the weekend. And I'm going to give you a behind the scenes of what it looked like when you have built a series. Now, what are my series compiled of? We have Fly on the Wall, we have Mindset Mondays, we have Sports Science, we have Food for Fighters, we have Best Life, and we have Star Power. And then there are the little ancillary ones that we talk about. And but the series, my entire life is built around things that I know I got to deliver no matter what. They create the most impact. We do the behind the scenes. We got the fight show, and I didn't even mention that. Those are profoundly sewn into the dirt. So this is what this is all about. Now, when it's time for you to get to your next level, you'll have a map, you'll have a blueprint. And this right here is a contribution to Best Life. Taking the challenge, day 17, I've gone through some things, and I've basically written a journal out here every single day, giving you behind the scenes. I've gone through a tooth situation with my wisdom teeth, so I had to go to the dentist, and that's kind of stunted my work ethic. So that's why I have the single muscle development focus. I can at least nail one thing so I don't stop my progression. So there are no excuses. And no matter what you think is in your way, it's not in your way, because you're here on an assignment. Coming from the Gen Xers, the 55 plus, who've done it through all walks of life, who've been through all types of storms, who've weathered them and triumphed them. I'm here to let you know that there's nothing that happens to you. It only happens for you. So keep the encouragement, stay focused, stay locked in, and stay tuned for tomorrow when we dive directly into how to build an entire series around your life, because what you're doing is important, and you got to not take it less serious. You got to take it more serious, because it gets intimidating when you're thinking you're talking to millions and millions of people at one time. But talk to the one avatar that you know that was in front of you, that it would impact their life. And once you stay there, then nothing can stop you. The thing about it is, you got to get around people that are in the like mind. So step number 1, get into the winner circle, broadcast. Step 1. If you're ready to take it past that, then you get on a coaching call and learn what steps do you need in order to reach what you want to reach. It can be peace of mind, it could be next level of success, or it can be how to stay in a mindset where you're not distracted, but you're accomplishing things that you've always wanted to accomplish. That's up to where you are in your life. And no matter what, the winner circle is the place where you elevate from where you are today to the next level. So that's all I got. Goodbye. Be blessed, at Godspeed. And like always, save this video and refer back to it and follow for more. This is day 17. Best life. You deserve your best life. And nothing happens to you. It only happens for you. Peace.